How's it going, everyone? My name is Curtis and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be going over a tank guide that I've made for you today that'll cover just about everything you need to know to be able to operate a tank as a crew. So include the driver, the machine gunner, and the turret operator. I will also include some tips and tricks to be able to help you operate the tank a bit easier and to keep you and your tank crew alive. Also, thank you to each and every single one of you. I've managed to make it past 100 subscribers. Actually, the time of me editing this video now, it's at 127, which for me is pretty impressive, honestly. But hey, if you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications to continue to support me. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Every tank is different, unique in its very own way in terms of how it works. So, not only am I going to be telling you how the tanks work and how to operate them, I'm also going to be showing you some tips on how to survive a tank if you encounter them as an infantry or on foot, and how to destroy them a lot easier because, believe it or not, tanks in Pavlov have a weakness. Let's get to it. So to begin, I'll show you how to get inside of each seat. Every tank has these ladders on the side, and I'll just highlight it here in a moment. So there we go. Okay, so you just hover your hand over, you can see it highlights. All you have to do is just right grip on the ladder, and you will be able to go in it, like so. And we're in the driver's seat. So to get to the driver's seat, you have to be on the front left ladder for you to be on the driver's seat. This will apply for every tank. So the driver's always on the front left ladder. To get onto the machine gunner, you go on the front right, and you just click the ladder, and bingo, you're in the machine gunner seat now. To simply exit, just put your hand over your head and press grip, and you'll be out. Now, both rear ones on each side goes towards the turret of the tank. Again, both back ones, both back ladders goes towards the turret of the tank. Doesn't matter which one you pick, it'll always go towards the turret. To be able to drive a tank, just go into driver's seat like so, and you'll see these two sticks. Every tank's a bit different in terms of how it looks, but they function the exact same way. Now, basically, it's how it works. If I want to move the left tank tracks, I move the left stick forward. And if I want to move the right tank tracks, I move the right stick. And that's basically much to it. So each of these sticks independently controls one of the tracks. So like again, the right stick controls the right track and the left stick controls the left track. Also, you can just move one forward and it apparently works. To turn the tank, let's say you want to go right like I'm showing here, both sticks are forward, right? And if I want to turn right, just move the right stick towards you. And same thing if you're going to turn left. If you're going to turn left, make sure both sticks are forward and move the left stick back to you. If you are backing up, however, do keep in mind that it's backwards. So if you're backing up and you want to turn, let's say left, you have to move the right stick forward. But you should definitely practice doing some of this stuff. To get into the machine gunner, go on the front right ladder, press grip on it, and you're inside the machine gunner seat. And here you have a nice functioning machine gun with unlimited ammo, but the only problem is that it tends to overheat if you just hold trigger on it. So your job as a machine gunner is to simply suppress any enemies, like, infantry. And this is rather important because one of those infantry enemies could have a rocket and it could go towards you. It does have a high rate of fire and does actually, I believe, it's 50 damage per shot. So it's the equivalent of like a bolt action, basically. And make sure not to overheat your gun too much. So if you want, you can do small burst fire to be able to have the machine gun go for a bit longer before it overheats. It's about 5 seconds when it overheats, but trust me, a lot could happen within the 5 seconds. And that's basically the job. Just keep enemies on the ground away from the tank. And there you go. And also to stabilize the weapon, what you could do is you could just hold your hand on here. Every tank, so you gotta place your hand differently, but this allows for a little bit more precision when it comes to shooting. But overall, it's just the spray pattern. This thing's ridiculous, but But yeah, that's pretty much the machine gunner for you. Starting with the Sherman tank, let's just go in the back. Here we are. I'll keep this as simple as possible so that way if you're new, you know how to operate the turret easily. The main thing you want to focus on this thing are those red handles and gimmicks here and there. But if for any reason you forget, just remember there is instructions here. Every single tank has them in case you forget while you're in the battlefield. For the Sherman tank, if you want to move the turret left and right, use this handle here. And to move the barrel up and down, just use the left handle here. To operate the cannon, just open up the hatch, grab a shell, and a shell is going to be located differently for every tank. And just simply grab it, put it up on the hatch, and throw it in. Just like so. Close the hatch, and you're ready to fire. And to fire, it's gonna be different for every tank, but basically you just want to press this red handle for the Sherman tank. So you can press on it, and there you go. You just fired, and you just simply repeat. Grab the shell, put it up, throw it in, close the hatch, and fire. And that's pretty much it for the Sherman tank. If you're new with tanks, I highly suggest that you practice this so you can become faster at reloading and aiming with the turret. Also, before I forget, you can also zoom in with the screen if you use your left thumbstick, moving it up and down. This will allow you to be able to zoom in and out with the screen that's there and allow you to become a lot more precise with your shots. Moving over to the Tiger tank, you'll notice compared to the other tanks, this has a lot more room, and that's because it's a big tank. If you don't like the small spaces of other tanks, then I guess the Tiger tank is for you. So how do you operate the Tiger tank? Pretty straightforward. I'll go ahead and I'll show you. To turn the turret of the Tiger tank left or right, use the handle that is in front of you below that red button as you can see here. To move the barrel of the Tiger tank up and down, use this handle as you can see here, the one that is below you a bit towards your right side. To load the cannon of the Tiger tank, open up this hatch like so. Grab a shell on your left side. Put it up against the hatch, throw it in, and close the hatch, and just press this red button. And bingo. So again, open up the hatch, grab a shell, line it up, throw it in, close the hatch, and press the button. And that is it for the Tiger tank. And moving over to the Panzer. I think it's a Panzer tank. To move the turret left and right, use the handle that's in front of you. The one that's below you, actually. It's like right in front, below you, can't miss it. You can see it right here. And to move the bird up and down, use the left handle, as you can see here. Pretty straightforward in terms of movements. To load the cannon, open up the hatch, put the shell up front, throw it in, close the hatch, and you press this red button right there. And there you go. You fired. And that's it for the Panzer. Moving over to the T-34. I think it's a T-44 actually, I don't know. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a T-34. So for the T-44, it'll look just like this. And to move the turret left and right, you want to use the handles on your left. This one. And you can see here, you can move left and right. And to move the actual cannon itself, you want to use the handle that is up front. So let me just align this here. There we go. And just use this front one to go up and down. Just like so. To load the cannon, open up the hatch using this little handle here. Very small. And grab a shell which on your left. Place it there and throw it in. Close the hatch and press these buttons up here. There you go. So again, open up the hatch, grab a shell, put it in, slide it in, close the hatch, fire. Just like that. That's pretty much it for the T-34. Let me know if this is a T-34. I have no idea in terms of tanks, really. And that's basically it in terms of operating tanks. But now, I'm going to show you a few tricks here that I ended up finding out for myself that I don't think many people know about. This is in terms of surviving as an infantry and basic survival stuff. So that way, when you encounter a tank on foot, you don't get completely annihilated in 2 seconds. And if you are an anti-tank, or just operating a tank in general, I'll show you a way how to take down tanks quickly here in just a moment. So let's get right into that real quick. This tip is simple, but not a lot of people do it. At least I haven't seen many people do it, at least. If there's a tank right there that's stationary, and there's a machine gunner, throw some smoke at it, especially towards the front. So that way you have a visible barricade between you and the enemy so they cannot see you. Most likely when you do this, it will start to spray and pray in an attempt to try to get you, so be careful. But this should help you be able to cross safely to one building to the other without being shredded apart or anything. Let's say you're anti-tank and you're taking down the Sherman tank. So you do your thing, grab your rocket, you put the thing in, you shoot at it, right? Well, it comes to realize that, well, you only have limited ammo and you're out. Oh no, what should I do, Curtis? Throw grenades at it. No, seriously, throw grenades at it. So, when you throw grenades at it, it actually does do damage. And if you want the best damage done to the tank with grenades, throw it underneath like this. The closer it is, the better. And you can hear the tank is damaged. And if I throw another one, if I can get it. Not quite, but yeah, let me grab some more grenades here so I can show you. Okay, so exact same tank. Now I'm gonna throw a grenade at it. Look what happens. Now it's on fire. One more. Boom. Just like that. This is pretty good if you need to, you know, deliver a little bit extra damage to the tank and whatnot, or if it's on fire and you only have a grenade, just do that. This will help pretty good. Here's another thing that came into my mind when I was actually making this video. So tanks usually have a weak spot, and usually that weak spot is towards the back of the tank because that's where the engine is and all the essential components that you need for a tank to run. If you play War Thunder and stuff like that, you should know this, but I was thinking, is this true for Pavlov? So you know me, I obviously went ahead and tried it out, and well, here's the results. The Tiger tank takes 9 shots up front for it to be destroyed, as you can see here. But for the back, it takes 8 shots to destroy it instead of 9. Gotta fix this tank so the tests are consistent. Alright. There we go. Alright. Perfect. Sherman tank takes 6 up front. And 5 hits towards the back to completely destroy it. This also applies for the Panzer and the T-34 since they have the exact same health. I've tried them too as well, and they ended up having the exact same result. 6 hits up front to destroy it and 5 towards the back to destroy it. So if you have to take down a tank quickly, just go for the back. It's quicker. Also, you're probably wondering, Curtis, how do you use a blowtorch to fix a tank? Oh, well, it's pretty straightforward. But basically, you grab this valve and you'll hear it. You hold the gas coming out. Press trigger and hold trigger so that it stays on, and you put the flame up against the tank and you hear all of this. It's only limited, so use them wisely. The tank will be fully repaired when you hear this sound. And that's all to fixing tanks. And that will conclude today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe with post notifications turned on so you do not miss another video. And again, thank you for 100 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. But until then, I'll see you out on the battlefield.